What's up, Clutchies? David here. Today I'm going to run you through my joint mobility and activation warm-up routine. It takes anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, has two components. CARS, which stands for Controlled Articular Rotations, popularized by Andreo Spina in his Functional Range Conditioning program. And then we'll just have some random mobility drills, activation drills sprinkled in between the CARS. We'll start from head to toe, and we'll make sure with the CARS we're targeting all the major joints in the body. And for time's sake, and because you're probably going to be doing this before or after a workout, we want to focus on the major joints, the ones that rotate, such as your shoulders, your hips, and your ankles. And we'll start standing, and then we'll go down to the ground. And when we get on the ground, we'll start focusing on the spine. Now with the CARS, you want to focus on two things: tension and end range functions. So with the tension, you want to create as much tension as possible in your whole body and in the joints. I know that sounds counterintuitive. If you create tension, how are you going to rotate? Well, you'll see in just a second. And then you want to take the joints into end range, and I'll show you in just a second when we get started. Now with the reason CARS is so good is because research has been showing that joint rotations improve joint integrity by taking your tendons and ligaments through their full end range, conditioning them, improving blood flow and circulation, flushing out inflammation and things like that. Our joints, they were meant to rotate, so the research has been showing that by rotating on a daily basis, you can increase the longevity of your joints, decrease likelihood of injury, because you're telling your brain to go to end range, and that teaches your body, conditions your mind to say, hey, look, if we're out in real life and your joint goes into this position right here, which isn't really natural for many people, at least your brain is kind of accustomed to it because you're doing these CARS. So without further ado, let's get started. We'll start with the shoulders. Now remember, we want to create as much tension as possible. As you're doing this, you want to avoid overarching or extending at the lumbar, your lower back here. Okay, we want to create as much tension as possible so the rib cage will be down and straight. And with the shoulder, when you're doing the shoulder rotations, you want to make sure that your arms are straight and you're visualizing somebody pulling you from your middle finger. So we're going to start here, and these are slow and tense. And you're going back here. You might be like Rice Krispies and you hear snap, crackle, and pop within those joints, but as long as there's no pain, you should be okay. There's no cause for concern. However, if there is regular pain, and after doing CARS regularly, daily, if there's still pain, that might warrant a doctor's visit. But in all likelihood, doing CARS on a regular basis, because you're conditioning your joints, might improve any pain. Good. So I have pretty much full range of motion in my shoulder, but some people, you might find that their shoulder's like this. If that's the case, just keep working it. Just try to keep working it, and you'll find that your end range function does improve over time. All right. So you'll go back and front about anywhere between 3 to 5 times. I like to do 3 times, especially before workouts, so it doesn't take so long. Now we'll switch to our other side. Nice and tense. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs, rib cage down. And I'm putting my hand on my abs because I want to cue myself to keep them tight. So tactile sensation, right? Good, there we go. So those are shoulder rotations. Now we'll just do what's called a crucifix. So here, straighten out the arms as much as possible, palms facing up, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. About 3 times. Again, remember, don't arch, over arch. Rib cage down, squeeze. See, I'm sweating just doing this. And it's not even that warm in my room. There we go, good. So next exercise, we're going to start going into our hips. So with the hips, you want to go up against the wall. Now, one of the best ways to create tension in the whole body when you're standing and you're targeting your legs is to put your hands on the wall and push out against it. So here, I'm just going to demonstrate it while I'm facing the wall, but then I'm going to turn to my side just to demonstrate it that way so you can see what the hip CARS look like from the side. So again, first from the front or from the back. Keep it nice and tight. Your standing leg is going to be as straight as possible. Squeeze the glutes here. Lift up as high as you can. And then rotate again. So we're not having that much motion here. Keep them nice and tense. Abs tight. All right, now I'm going to go from the side. So my hand's still on the wall because I'm trying to create a little bit of tension here. Lift. There we go. The next exercise, we're just going to go into what are called hinges. So here we have soft knees, pushing the hips back, getting a stretch in the hamstrings. Your body from here is nice and straight. So if you put your hand right here on your belly button and on the top on your clavicle, your hands should not come closer together. They should stay nice and straight. You're going to push those hips back, knees go back too. So we don't want to see the knees come forward like so. So let's do this about 10 times, nice and easy. This also stretches out your calves, which is good. Good, next exercise, we'll go ahead and do some squats. Feet a little bit wider, squat down. Just hang down there for a little while, try to go as low as you can. So regular squatting has been shown to be good for hip health, and it's not surprising given that, you know, if you go to an Asian continent, you know, hip replacements aren't a very common procedure over there. This is also a very good way to go to the bathroom. TMI. Good. So we'll stay down here for a little while. Good. Now from here we'll go into the down dog hold, or downward dog for you yogaites or yogis. So, as opposed to people who do yoga regularly, I don't have that as much flexibility in my hamstring, but this serves its purpose, so it activates the shoulders here. So, you know, we can rock back and forth just to get the shoulders involved more. About 10 times here. Good, now we're going to come all the way down. Now go ahead and do what are called glute sets. Now this has 3 series. We're going to do the glute set, then the psoas stretch, and then the trunk rotations. So with the glute set, you're going to hold these for about 5 to 10 seconds each. Squeeze the butt. Body's nice and straight here, straight line down. Squeeze the butt, and then push the hip forward, just like so. And you feel a nice stretch right in through here at the top, top of the leg. Now from here, while you're still doing this, go ahead and bring the same side arm up so you can stretch the psoas, and laterally bend over to the opposite side. 5 seconds. And then put both your hands on opposite shoulders and trunk rotations. 5 seconds. Keep those hips nice and still. Switch sides. Glute sets here. Hand up. Lateral bend. Trunk rotations. Now we'll go down to all fours. Do some cat camels here. Arch the lower back. So we're going into extension with the neck, the thoracic spine, and the lower spine, the lumbar. Then from here, start from the neck, tuck the chin, and start at the top and push out and go into flexion with everything. And now we're going to reverse it. So we're trying to be as fluid as possible. Create as much tension. So we're pushing the knees and the hands into the ground. Next, bird dogs. 10 seconds on each side. Make sure you stretch your body out all the way. Heels straight back. Arms nice and locked. Push your body away. Hold it for 10 seconds. Switch sides. Notice I didn't do it for 10 seconds. Good. Next we'll go ahead and come on down. Let's do some side knee planks here. So this is a good exercise to kind of improve the communication between the lateral knee and the shoulder. So keep it nice and tight here. 10 seconds. Switch. Good. And then we'll go into 90-90 with the hips here. So 90-90. First series of this, first part of the series. Lean over for about 5 seconds. And while you're leaning over here, go ahead and bring your body over to the middle. You should feel a nice stretch right in the inner thigh and the hamstrings. And from here, lift the body up and trunk rotations. And from here, opposite direction here. Reach around. Good, and then from here, rotate on the toes. And again. Come under. Good, and then after that, we'll just finish off with some bear crawling. Boom, small steps. Keep it nice and tight. You can do about 10 steps on each side. Opposite limbs are moving. So frontward, so forward, and backwards. And that's my warm-up routine.